and not necessarily a problem, as your colleague Mr. Heapy said. So I want to ask you. You said that you think Putin will lose in the long run, but we have a bloody war of attrition, just brutal, as you know better than anyone, going on at present. Do you think there are things that the West can and should be doing to help Ukraine additionally now in coming weeks to give them a better chance of driving Russian forces out of their country? What specific things do you think should be on the agenda in terms of military supplies?
Well, what we've started doing is effectively shifting from hardware to software insofar as training. When we started this, and the United Kingdom and the United States were providing military, both lethal and non-lethal types into Ukraine before the invasion. But they were predominantly, javelins, and for us, NLAWs, short-range anti-tank, sort of infantry level capabilities, and they are pretty much point and fire. They weren't particularly complex weapon systems to use. As the international community has decided to step up support, so we've now got longer range artillery, 155 or 152, which is the existing Soviet type calibers. It's a different weapon system. They need to be more specialist, and so in order to allow them to be used properly and to be used on the right targets, you need to make sure that people are trained. So actually, I think the next step is training to make sure that the Ukrainians, it's not just a question of giving the Ukrainians complex weapon systems. They need to be able to operate them properly. Otherwise, our constituents will quite rightly ask, what are we doing it for? And I want to make sure that the Ukrainians have that ability to do it properly, but also that they can make sure that there is no collateral damage and all the other challenges that we have in war. So I think that's the next big push, is coordinating training to make sure all that weaponry that's been gifted or sold or whatever to the Ukrainians is used properly to allow them to defend their nation.